What's going on, everyone? In this video, we're going to be doing the weekly recap of the stocked up trading floor. And surprise, surprise, the market made new all-time highs yet again this week. And we had that pretty crazy crypto rally too. So there's definitely a lot going on. Definitely make sure to check out the main channel video when it releases because there is a lot going on in the market, which is a good thing. But jumping into this week's recap, we'll start out with the breakouts channel. On the 14th, there wasn't too much action. PayPal, Mora, and APP had decent moves, but honestly, nothing crazy. There were a handful of trades that moved up in like a decent way, but honestly, there were a fair amount of duds too. That's just how the market is sometimes. Nothing too crazy on the 14th. As the week went on, the moves definitely got bigger and crazier, which is always good to see. But I would say it was a little bit more of a slower week in an intraday momentum sense, though. As we can see on the 15th, it started to pick up a little bit. MP, NEM, and USAR really led the way. Really good moves all around. And there were also a handful of plays that moved up in a pretty respectable way, too. And there were only like 3 trades that either moved up a little bit or were just duds. So overall, good to see. Continuing on to the 16th, I would definitely say this was the day of the week as RGTI, RBLX, J&J, and Joby all had great moves, especially RGTI and Roblox, and then especially even more than that, RGTI. 650% is definitely a great move. Again, a handful of trades that moved up in respectable ways as well, and then a handful of trades that either moved up a little bit or were just duds or counter trends. So overall, good to see. And then continuing on to the 17th, again, decent action, nothing like too crazy, but respectable nonetheless. There were 4 trades that moved up by over 200%, with the leading one being RKLB, a handful of trades that moved up decently, but also more duds. So overall, not bad. And then looking on Friday, I would definitely say slowed down a bit. There wasn't really anything too crazy, like Dell and Coin and Abbott moved in an okay way, but I would say it was a little bit more of a slower day on Friday. And then shifting over into the pullbacks, as we know, these tend to move in a little bit more of a less intense way because the best, most explosive trades a lot of times don't even pull back at all. So that is why you don't get like the best opportunities in terms of like just pure explosiveness with pullbacks. But the trade-off that comes with that is that while they tend to be less explosive, they also tend to be slower, smoother, easier trades. So that's nice to see. But anyways, continuing on, we can see there was decent action on the 17th. But besides that, nothing too crazy. And then on Friday, I would say it was a pretty slow day. So not bad there. And then shifting over into the theta trades, 3 out of the 4 theta trades for this week expired for max profit, which is always nice to see. If you have not shorted put options already, or if you want to learn more about them, definitely feel free to reach out to Tom, Hunter, Mason, or myself in SM chat, and we'll make sure you're taken care of. Using a strategy like this, or at least having knowledge of how it works, is very beneficial, because it essentially puts you in a position where you accumulate assets over time. In this case, it is stocks that you are happy to own at prices you are happy to own them at. And not only is it a good, beneficial thing to do that, especially over the long term, but by selling put options, you also get paid to do that. You get paid a premium, which is really nice. On top of that, selling put options is also a pretty flexible strategy when done correctly, because you can always roll the options out further in time if you don't want to take assignment of the shares. And then you could even, in some cases, roll them down and out to get a lower cost basis on the position as well. On top of that, you can also, if you do get shares assigned, you can turn around and sell covered calls on that position to continue the cash flow generation, you could say. But overall, it's very nice to learn. If you need any help, just reach out in SM chat and we'll make sure you're taken care of. But yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't already. Besides that, thank you all so much for watching and have a great rest of your weekend.